So, guys, develop unshakable willpower. This will aid you in every department of your life. So, why is that important that we develop this willpower muscle, let's say? The thing is, with willpower, that alone, a lot of the times, is what separates people who succeed from those who don't. I'll give you an example. We have person A who is just starting a business. They have big aspirations, big ambitions, and let's say they're dedicated to that. Awesome. And we have person B. Same things that I mentioned earlier, except this person has greater willpower. All right. So let's say they're working on the business. 2 weeks in, oh, fine, everything sunshines and rainbows. And then 1 month in, same thing. And then it comes to be that 2 months in, when all the challenges are presenting themselves, person A gives up because they don't have the will to keep going. And here we see person B may have some challenges, but he continues moving forward. Why? Because he has the will to do so. Willpower is going to be needed to accomplish anything really of value in life. And willpower, guys, contrary to popular belief, is something that can be built. Don't get misconstrued with what they say that, oh, willpower is motivation and I need to listen to this person speak. I need to do this action here. No. Willpower, guys, is something that you develop by doing hard things. That is how you develop willpower. It's by doing those hard things. And for example, let's put it into actionable steps. There is a method that I've been learning about. It's called the Lotus method. And basically, what this is an ancient technique that people of Eastern orientation to life used. For example, samurais and people of that pedigree to build discipline and just be able to do difficult things. And so, willpower for me falls into this category. And what you want to do, just start out slight and easy, especially if this is something new for you. So I want you every day to pick out one thing that is difficult and challenging for you. It doesn't matter the time of day, just one thing. I want you to choose that thing that you say, hey man, for me, this is difficult. I have to give so much effort and it's very challenging. Okay, awesome. So now that you have that picked out, great. I want you to do that difficult task at that time every single day. And I want you to do that for 2 weeks. Okay? Not 1 week because there's a lot of room for trial and error. 2 weeks. We have a good sample size and we're able to move with that. Okay. So once you've done that for 2 weeks, I want you to tell me, and it can be down below in the comments, guys. I truly recommend you, man, just leave me a comment to let me know. And let me know how those actions that you have done, the same actions, because you've had the same life, let's say, but you've just implemented doing that difficult task for 2 weeks now. I want you to tell me, man, truly, when I do these same things, I feel so different. What was once challenging, my schoolwork, when I had a difficult math problem or an assignment, it's no longer as daunting because I just feel stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in every realm. And that's just with that. That's only with 2 weeks. Let me give you guys an example. Let's look at all the most successful people in different areas of life. If you want to look in the sports field, you can say LeBron James, for example. Or if you want to look in the financial realm, you can say Elon Musk, for example. And another realm we could say presidents, right? Okay. For example, the current president, Donald Trump. Okay. So, I want you guys to tell me what separates them from their peers in their areas. Because let's say, sure, there can be some variability here and there, but everyone in theory, at least their peers, had the chance to do the things that they are doing. So why did they get to be at the top of their areas? Especially with Elon Musk and LeBron. Because the thing with that, man, there's everyone in theory, like there's no literal law saying that you cannot have the wealth that Elon Musk has, for example. There's nothing that's, as far as that goes, that's impeding you from getting that. The thing is, between Elon Musk and even his own counterparts, what separates him is that will. That's what separates you. Oh, you want to point to, well, he read this article at this time and he was able to get the information before him. And that is the reason. I mean, I get what you're saying. Sure, could there be some little variabilities? 100%. But we're looking here in totality, in general here. And in general, all the challenges that present themselves, because with the more, let's say, wealth, typically that brings the more responsibility. And to handle more responsibility requires more will. The thing is, once your will is so high and so large, it's not something that you actually need even consciously practice. It's just who you are. Because take yourself, for example, and let's say you're doing excellent, and I'm happy to hear that. However, you're now being asked to do 100 times more of whatever you're doing in the same field. You have to be honest with me and with yourself and say, man, am I the person now capable of stewarding that position? You have to be honest. For myself, I feel very capable at this point. But for me to steward the ultimate destiny, the ultimate goal, I still have a ways to go. And a big thing there is the will that is going to get cultivated through responsibility. The will to keep going, because there's going to be challenges at every area and in every realm. So, with that being said, do not look at willpower, for one, as some Galatian thing or something that's completely just alien. No. Willpower is a muscle that anyone can build. Doesn't matter if you are rich, if you are poor, if you are middle class, your creed, nationality, whatever you want to say, it doesn't matter. Anyone can build it because everyone has challenges. The thing is, how do you respond to the challenges that present themselves in your life? That's the real difference. If you find yourself reacting to the problems in your life, a lot of the times, not always, that can be an indicator of not necessarily having the same will that you would need to be able to handle the obstacle on your path. And if that is never cultivated, how can you truly ever be the person that you are wishing and wanting to be? how would we do that? If willpower is linked to success and linked to responsibility, wouldn't it be important for us to develop the willpower, make that stronger? Wouldn't that be important? And the reality is 100%. So make sure to do that task, guys, because a lot of you have so much potential and you're already on the right path. Do not get me wrong. The thing is, you need to add this into your area. Let's say you're going to the gym, but for example, you go to the gym in the morning twice a week, which is good. It's just if you want to get to the next level, you have to do things that are of the next level. And so the person on the next level is going to be going to the gym at in the morning 4 times a week rather than 2. And okay, let's say you go to bed at 11, 12 a.m. Well, the next level would be going to bed at 10 to 11 or 10 to 10:30. And so how do you get there? With discipline, for sure. The thing is, discipline in and of itself requires willpower. I mean, they go hand in hand. That's why it may sound very similar to discipline. But I mean, that's what it is. Because if you have a strong will, discipline becomes easy, man. I can't tell you the number of times where I've been told, hey, Gabriel, you're very disciplined. And I say, thank you. It doesn't really require much for me because it's just will at the end of the day. I want to do it. Not because I necessarily enjoy it, but because I know that I need to do that to get to where I would like to be and where I'm being called to be. So that is a muscle that cannot go untrained. If you go to the gym and you do push-pull legs, amazing. The thing is, guys, that's what they teach us to do. Focus on all these exterior things, everything that's on the outside of my body. Make sure that I give it the proper onus that it needs. And sure, in theory, that's cool, awesome, man. You know, get into great shape and health, amazing. Don't get me wrong. However, that's a vacuum. And when you start to understand this, I was doing this exercise the other day. Okay. For you to develop unshakable willpower, which I want all of you to have, that takes years of practice, let alone, decades. For you to get into great shape, if you're doing it extreme to the extreme, you can get into great shape, in 3 months or 4 months. Let's say on average 6 months. It's 6 months to get into great shape. And then to maintain that shape isn't necessarily very difficult. So that's not to undermine at all my lifters and my people of great health, because that's still an amazing feat to have. Pardon. The thing, however, is they've also developed willpower through that period. The thing is, though, the willpower doesn't exist in a vacuum of going to the gym and of being in great shape. That's the thing. Your willpower will aid you with your wife. It will aid you with your kids. When you need to do something for your child, and unfortunately and fortunately, the way that the world works is this. No one cares about how it is that you truly feel. People only care about your results and what you can do for them. So your child needs you, for example, to help them do some homework. And sure, maybe it's a bit daunting. Maybe they're in high school and it's some pre-calc material. And you're like, man, I'm not trying to think about that right now. I'm trying to sit on my bed and watch this show or this game, whatever it may be. The thing is, you have two people. You have the dad that says, No, son, or no, daughter, I'm tired. You have it. You can do it on your own. It's like, oh, okay. And then what's their belief? Like, man, my dad, yeah, I love him, but can I really count on him? Because at that point, that's a habit, and it's going to present itself in inopportune times. It's like, oh no, if my dad's tired, whatever, he can't help me. So he's let alone he's almost useless at a point when he's tired. It's like, man, you start to find ways to remove your dad's presence or mother's presence to you and the importance of it in those moments. So of course that's going to change your relationship. Okay, and that's one. The second thing is you have the other person that does the things regardless of how they feel. They have more will. And so they're home, they're tired, they're watching a game, and their son or daughter say, hey, could you please help me with this assignment? And you say, you know what? Yeah. You're super tired. You don't want to move. You know what it's like when you have Thanksgiving dinner and you're in a sleep coma almost. Yeah, it's like that. But you get up and move. Not because you even have the energy to, but because your willpower does the work to get you to where you need to go. Only due to that, not anything else. Not discipline. Plays a part, but not discipline. Willpower. That's what'll get you there. And then you see, man, my dad, he's the guy that gets the things done when the things need to get done. He's that man. He's the man that gets the things done regardless of how he feels, regardless of if he wants to do them. I can count on him. And we know as men, there's nothing at all more important than respect. And that's for my men. For ladies, it's adoration. And adoration can also be one with having more willpower in certain things. Oh, maybe I don't want to do this, but I have to pick up my child. I have to make him this meal. I have to aid them. I have to help my husband, my daughter, my son, okay, with this task. I have to help with this business. And I don't want to, but you do it anyway. It's going to aid you. And more admiration will come from that. And adoration. And that's going to change your relationship because now they know they can count on you. And regardless of the level of wealth, the billions or the millions that you may have, nothing can truly compare to the respect. And I find it tough as a man myself. I find it very tough to come across a man with tremendous willpower and to an extent, tremendous discipline, and to say, oh man, I don't respect them. I find that very difficult to do. And let me ask you this, guys. Would you rather be a billionaire that no one respects? Or would you rather be financially stable that everyone does? And this doesn't even exist in the vacuum that says, I do this because I need approval of others. Of course not. The thing is, we are human beings, and by nature, we are social beings. So, of course, the social aspect of your life matters. You can't negate it forever. And social includes your family. And let me tell you now, I don't know anything that children and a spouse cringe at more than a father or man that they can't count on or that can't do the things that they need to do. Or just a man in general. I mean, that's not something that is attractive. And not even in a romantic light by itself. Just in general. That's not an attractive trait. So, if you find yourself, and what I've said here has ignited anything within you, know that I'm not speaking to you to call you out and say, oh, you're a bad person. No, friend. You are merely finding something out that I hope you hadn't heard before. And now you're able to use that to your advantage, and you're able to use that to become who it is that you are meant to, and to improve your life, and to grow in your life, and to have more fulfilling relationships, to have more fulfilling days, because everything is connected. And if you have a strong willpower, I find it hard to believe that there is anything that you cannot accomplish. I find it hard to believe that. Life is suffering in and of itself, and we all have a baseline level of willpower. We all do. Every single person here. The thing is, typically the ones at the top tend to have higher levels. And those who have great family lives and great respect and adoration within their households tend to have higher levels than those who don't. Develop unshakable willpower. It will save you in your life in your most inopportune times, and it will take you to exactly where it is that you need to go.